Thank you.
Quite
Thank you.
a
Feels
way to
good to
come
be back
back,
really,
isn't
home.
it?
not really home, but well, at least you're on home ground, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just glad to be here, lah.
Uh-huh.
It's nice to be back.
Quite a way to come back home, though.
Yeah, it is. It was a very short notice. I had to get rid of all my stuff and pack up. Really, it took, I think, 2 weeks. I think was what I had to do everything.
Jeez.
Okay. Now you were studying in Wichita, Kansas, and you're supposed to graduate in May of 2020. But why did you come back so soon then?
In a time like this, it's always better to be around family. And that's one thing, was just being around people that I know and having that support. And another thing as well, I mean, as much as we like to knock it, the healthcare in Malaysia is really great. And the insurance that I had back in the States was mediocre at best. So it's a couple of factors.
I see. Okay, so does that mean that your graduation is canceled, or will you be attending your graduation remotely? Have you finished your
Um,
studies? You have.
I'm still doing online classes actually right now.
Okay.
But for graduation, what they've done is they've moved it to they call it a virtual commencement. That's what they
Right.
call it. Basically, we're supposed to send in a picture and that's it. The actual ceremony has been postponed to October.
If things work
Um,
out again, right?
yeah, if things work out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Did you know before you returned? You said you had 2 weeks to prepare, right? But did you know that when you returned to Malaysia that you were going to be under quarantine at a hotel?
yes, yeah, I knew about that. Yeah.
Was it difficult for you to get flights out of America to come back here?
Well, not really. The airline I took, they're one of the only airlines still offering. They call it return home flights. I think they had this travel home promotion. So myself, along with four other people from four of my friends from the same university, we all came back together on the same flight.
Okay.
So walk me through this. I mean, like when you were there in Wichita, and then at what point did you go, okay, we're gonna go back? Was that one day that everyone decided to just go, or was it the university that said, guys, I think it's safer for you guys to go back?
Well, the university, I think about a month ago, told us all to quote unquote go home. So the local students all went home and they moved all classes online. For myself personally, I mean, I'm graduating this May anyway, so I was already planning to come back. And the situation in the States started getting really bad a couple of weeks ago, and I think that was probably the big tipping point for me to decide to come back.
So was there a list of things that you had to tick off with the government here to say that, okay, I'm coming back, I'm going to be doing this. Do I get to choose my hotel? What's going to happen?
Well, no, not at all, actually. Everything was done as soon as we landed in KL,
Oh,
at KLIA.
Oh,
take
wow.
us through that experience. Must be quite interesting, right? Once you landed in KLIA, what happened?
Okay, so we got off the plane. It was only, I think it was only 40 to 50 people. And
So social
we had
distancing
at
in the
least,
plane.
yeah, pretty
Okay.
much. I had, I think, the whole back 30 seats all to myself, which is nice.
If that can only happen on a regular time, right? Yeah.
If only, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they met us right outside the airplane as soon as we got off, and escorted us through. We were given a form to fill up on the airplane, basically a health declaration form, which we had to give to them as we were. As the first thing we did actually was we gave it to them, and they did a quick medical assessment on us. We had a one-on-one briefing with a member of staff over there, who, yeah, it was just a quick 2-minute thing. And then once we went through passport control, they split us up into groups by the groups of about 15. And those are basically the buses that we took. And then one by one, each busload of people got their bags, went out to be sanitized. So they sprayed us with I don't know, some spray, and they had us go in the bus.
So you didn't know at the time which hotel you were going to be placed that?
We didn't know until we turned into the hotel.
Wow.
So yeah.
So it was a luck of a
yeah.
draw, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. It was pretty interesting. We were all looking around, wondering, looking at Google Maps as we were coming in, wondering which hotel we were going to get.
Guessing game. Now, did they do a COVID-19 test on all of you?
No.
No.
The only test they did was they took our temperature.
Oh, okay. But maybe people with symptoms, they would bring them over to do a COVID-19 test?
Most probably, yeah. There was a special section for people that had symptoms. I'm not too sure what happened to them.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So
are you
how
local?
many days?
Are you from KL?
Yeah, I'm from KL.
Right.
Okay. So how many days have you been staying in the hotel?
This is only my second day. We arrived in at 2 p.m. yesterday. Yeah.
Only day
so I haven't
2.
started losing my mind yet. Yep. Only day 2. Haven't lost my mind yet.
We've been at home for a month.
Wow. I can't imagine.
So how is day 2 in the hotel like for you?
It's okay. I guess just trying to get over jet lag and try to settle in a little more. Yep.
You're not allowed to step outside of your room at all, right?
Yeah, not at all. They leave us food outside the door at certain times, and that's really the only thing we get. The only interaction I have is waving at my friend in the next room outside the window. That's really the only thing.
Wait, what do you mean?
See him?
You can see him?
Yeah. So the way the hotel's set up is they're sort of staggered, so we can sort of look into the next room.
Right.
And because we all came together, we've all got adjacent rooms. So that's the only thing we do.
Yeah, but even though you have adjacent rooms, you can't go to each other's room to just, chat and hang out, right?
Yeah.
Wait, but you said every once in a while they're going to give you food and whatnot. So you are allowed technically to step out of your room, but you have the key card?
Yeah, I have a key card, but that's basically the only thing we can do is open the door. That's it. Nothing else.
So there are no guards outside and telling you to stay in or whatever?
No, but we've been warned that we are under surveillance. So I think they've got cameras set up in the halls to keep an eye on us.
Okay.
Did you see if there were police officers guarding the hotel or army officers?
Yes, I believe there were.
Okay.
I believe there were. Yep.
Okay,
but you were escorted all the way by police though, right?
Yes, yeah. We were. I think all 3 buses were escorted by police.
Wasn't that exciting?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Everyone was sort of looking at us weird because the bus driver was wearing the full PPE suit and all that, so that was pretty interesting to see.
What was it like for you? I mean, coming into KL. I mean, you're a KL boy, and you're driving in. You've been in Kansas for study for so long, and you land in KLIA. It's almost dead quiet. It's dead over there. And you drive into KL. It's also slightly dead. What was that feeling like?
It sort of felt like the first day of Raya, when town is like completely dead and you can drive on the highway. It felt good. It was kind of nice. The circumstances suck, but it felt pretty cool.
Now tell us about your meals. You said that they will deliver you your meals, so you get 3 meals a day. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
Do you get to order, or it's just whatever that they decide to give to you on that day?
Basically, we have both options. So the government pays for 3 meals a day, which I believe are cooked by the hotel and left outside our door at predetermined times. But we are also given the option to order room service at a discounted rate, and they will bring that up, I believe, instead of your original order. But they will only bring food, at least.
But it comes out of your own pocket, though.
It comes out of your own pocket, yeah.
How's
no delivery?
Food?
Are you allowed to get like burgers and pizza and whatever?
They left us quite a bit of documentation when we came in that we were supposed to read. So one of them said we could, another one said we couldn't. So I've got to call the hotel a little later and figure out what we can and can't do.
Well, it's day 2. You have lots of time to read that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
14 days.
it's
But
14 days. Yeah.
yeah, how about other room service like housekeeping, laundry? Is that included?
No, it's not. So they give us linens every 5 days, I believe. That's what they're gonna do. Housekeeping is all for us to do, and if we got to do laundry, we got to do it ourselves as well.
What do you mean do it yourself?
So we have to wash our own clothes by hand
In the toilet, like in the bathtub?
in the bathtub. Yeah.
Wow. So you can't even use the laundry service of the hotel, and you pay for it. No,
Uh,
no.
I think my hotel is they've closed down all the services
Right.
except the essential ones. So I think food's probably the only one that they're still doing right now.
How is the food?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a bit small. The portions are a bit small. But it's paid for by the government, so it's can't complain, right? It's free food.
All right. Now, so are you planning to do your laundry? Because I'm sure you came back with a whole big bunch of laundry from America, right? Have you started
Actually,
doing it?
no. I've got 3 overweight bags full of clean clothes. I actually did I was pretty responsible this time coming back. So, but I think I will need to do a little bit of laundry.
But where do you hang your laundry in the room? Is there a balcony at your room?
Nope. I haven't thought about that. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a line in the bathroom, but
Oh yeah,
I'm really
usually
not
above
sure.
the bathtub they've got that little line.
Yeah,
thing,
above the
right?
bathtub they've got a
But
line.
that's
Yeah,
kind of minimal though, right? So you're supposed to live.
extremely. Yeah,
You have to
Oh,
wash
wow.
every day. Means one set of clothes
pretty
every day.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
But
so
I'm not
yeah,
going out, so it's fine.
yeah. So it is day 2 only of you being cooped up within 4 walls. But for us, we've been at home for a month. Do you think you can do this for 2 weeks? What do you have planned to keep your mind occupied within this next 2 weeks?
I've still got classes going on, so I've still got quite a bit of homework and projects to do. It's all remote, obviously. And then I don't know, probably play some video games, watch some TV, just have a good break, I guess. It's yeah.
Do you need materials
probably
like
it.
for your projects and all? If you do, how
No.
are you gonna go and get it?
Well, my university has set up remote access for students to use whatever software we need
Okay.
over in the States. I haven't tried that out yet, but if that doesn't work, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
What's the longest you've ever stayed in a hotel? I mean, away from a lockdown like this.
Probably, I want to say like 2 weeks as well. I think.
You spent 2 weeks in a hotel before, so this is
I
a bit
believe so,
different
yeah.
though. How do you think you're gonna be
Yeah.
able to cope? And at what point are you gonna go, oh man, this is just too much for me?
I think probably about 3 days. It's gonna be about 3 days before I start getting restless. I'm pretty restless, but I've got things to do. I've got stuff I want to study as well on the side that I've been putting off for a while.
Okay.
So it's a good opportunity to catch up on things that I've been putting off due to school.
But I'm sure you're in constant contact with your family members, right?
Yeah.
How do
I am.
they feel about
Pretty,
you being quarantined at a hotel and not at home?
Well, they're okay with it. I mean, it's something that we've all accepted. I think my brother managed to beat that, so he quarantined at home for 14 days, and I don't think that was a whole lot better than quarantining at a hotel. So
Right.
I guess it's different for everyone.
What do you mean your brother just beat it? I mean, he was in Wichita as well.
No, he was in Belfast, so I think he got back about a month ago. So he came back really early.
Before the MCO, yeah.
Before the MCO, yeah. But he had to quarantine at home for I think 2 weeks as well.
So I'm just wondering about this because right now we're talking to you on Zoom, and hotels usually have Wi-Fi. Have you are you on their Wi-Fi? Are you using it on your own? Have you figured that part out yet?
Yeah, so we do have Wi-Fi, but I've got other devices connected, so I've decided to just use my data for this.
All right.
It's
So,
a little more reliable using data, but they've provided us with Wi-Fi that it's not the fastest, but it's good enough to do schoolwork and all that.
Did the hotel provide you with all the basic amenities as well, like shampoo and soap and toothbrush and all that?
Yeah, so they provided us with all the stuff that they would normally provide, but in much greater quantity. So stuff like soap, we've got quite a bit of soap, quite a bit of shampoo, lots of toilet paper, lots of towels, and
So towels, they're not going to wash it
toothbrush.
for you either. You'll probably have to wash your own towels yourself.
Probably
every 5 days, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, that's not even
every
part of
5
the
days.
5 day
Yeah.
thing?
Oh yeah, towels are, I believe.
Part of the linen.
Yeah, part of the linen thing.
Now, what is your overall perspective on this entire experience of being quarantined?
I'm very impressed with how it's been run. It's gone very smoothly, no hiccups. Everything, it was very transparent. It was extremely easy. It wasn't any trouble at all. So I'm very impressed by it, and I think it's one of those things that has to be done, and I've accepted it, and I'm just trying to make the most out of it, I guess.
How different do you think things would have been if you couldn't come back to Malaysia and you had to stick it out in the US? How tough would that have been?
It probably would have been easier actually, because it's not as restricted in the US. The movement isn't restricted. I was actually working up until last Friday on site, which it probably would have been easier in many ways, but at the same time, like I said earlier, the thing about being with family and just having that support outweighs everything else, I think.
And I guess you mentioned earlier that you trust our healthcare system, the Malaysian healthcare system, more than the American healthcare system, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely, I think it's a lot better over here than there.
If you were to get COVID-19, you'd rather get it here in Malaysia, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think running the risk of getting it on the way back outweighed the risk of getting it over there and having to pay a pretty significant amount even just to get tested over in the US.
You're in a very unique position right now because the US right now is probably having the worst. I mean, they're taking the brunt of the whole pandemic right now. And back in Malaysia, people are complaining that, oh my goodness, it's so tough. We have to stay at home and everything. How bad was, from your point of view, we see things in the news, but from your point of view, how bad were things in the States where you were?
Well, where I was, it's a smallish town. It's so it's not. It wasn't that bad, but the thing is that a lot of people didn't take it seriously over there. So I personally think that if you give it a couple of weeks, I think the place where I was at would have been really bad as well. But being in Kansas, I mean, it's a kampong, so it wasn't so bad.
But people weren't maintaining social distancing at all. Like, were they even aware how severe or how serious this virus was?
They were doing social distancing, maybe just as the courtesy, but I don't think that they were taking it very seriously. I mean, at least from talking to a lot of people, I didn't feel like people were taking it seriously over there.
Well, if there's one con or one thing that you can complain about this whole quarantine process, what would it be?
I think it's the portion of the food. It's pretty small, and lunch is supposed to come a little while ago. It still hasn't arrived yet, and my friend just texted me asking me if I got my food. She hasn't got it yet either. So that's probably the only thing. But I think the food thing is it depends on where you get, because I've got friends in other hotels who are getting different kinds of food, and
Better food or
they're getting more local food, which
Which
the
you
food
miss.
we're having is kind of like, yeah, of course, yeah, exactly. So
So what's the first
that's
thing you're gonna
probably the
do?
only complaint.
What's the first thing you're gonna go eat, or what's the first thing you're gonna do once you're released from quarantine?
Probably go grab some roti canai, I think. That's a bit direct.
right?
Those are the two things that you absolutely cannot find anywhere else.
Yeah. What? There was no roti canai in Wichita?
They had the frozen ones, the ones.
Oh, right,
the
yeah.
Kawan brand ones. Yeah, they had the frozen ones, but
Yeah.
it's never the same as going to a mamak store and having it.
Yeah.
with
Because
your
you're going to be
family and
released
friends, so.
pretty much the same time that Malaysia, because our MCO has been extended for another 2 weeks. So you're roughly going to be
Yep.
coming out around the same time that MCO is probably going to be over, hopefully. Are you,
Yeah.
how, are you even concerned that, of how things are going to be out there?
Not really. I think the way things are looking, if they release us, then great. I can go out and start catching up with a lot of people. If they still keep us in at home, I think it's fine as well. It's got to be done. It's the curve is flattening here at least, and I think if we keep it up for another, I don't know, if we keep it up as long as we need to, I think we'll be fine. The country will be fine.
Okay. So as someone who has gone through the quarantine experience, what's your advice to people who are being subjected to this enforced quarantine after returning home from a foreign country?
I guess just ride the wave, I guess. I mean, it's there's nothing much you can do about it. It's got to be done. Let's try to make the most out of it. It's a good time to relax, I think. Just spend some time with yourself and just relax.
Were you planning to come back to Malaysia to work anyway, or were you going to be working in the US after you graduated?
I was planning to come back.
Right.
Planning to come back, yeah.
Okay.
So there was no, because I was wondering if you're planning to work there, would you ever want to go back to the US, having seen how do you handle things?
Well, my career goals wouldn't really permit me to go back to the US, at least in the near future.
Right.
But it's I guess I would. I don't know. It depends. The quality of life there is pretty good.
Right.
It's pretty
Especially
good
in the small town, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, things are cheaper in a small town, so
Yeah.
you can, the dollar goes very far.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you
So
planning to work
Yeah.
out or exercise in your hotel room in the next 2 weeks?
How?
Or are you just gonna
I'll
relax
try.
and sleep and just catch up with your friends and family over technology? Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might try to work out a bit. I'm trying to keep as normal a schedule as possible, just so I don't go mad. So I'm trying to stay disciplined. Maybe do 20 minutes or so every other day, just to keep myself active.
How crazy is it that you got a hotel that is right in the heart of KL? I'm not gonna say where it is, but you're right in the heart of KL. You're right next to a pavilion where it's like probably one of the best shopping in KL, and then you're stuck in a room and you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, I've got a view of KLCC, and like, I just want to go there and park in the park, and it's kind of crazy, but yeah, hopefully when this thing gets lifted, I can go straight to Pavilion and
What view do you have?
something to eat there or something.
KLCC.
I've got a view of KLCC. Yeah,
Both the towers or just one?
both the towers and Tower 3 as well.
Wow.
So so you kind of have it good in a way, because if you think about it,
I've been very lucky.
Yeah, you could have gotten a hotel in
extremely
Chowkit
lucky.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, because
and then
we
you could have
read
had a horrible room.
we read a news article of this family who had a room in Chowkit, like who were given a room in Chowkit, and it was bad. It was real bad.
Oh man!
So you've got 3 meals a day.
terrible.
Portions are a bit small,
Yep.
sure. You got a pretty okay.
Yeah.
It's an amazing view. You can't go out.
Yeah,
You kind of
it's a
can
great
see a
view,
friend,
Yeah,
right? So on a scale of 1 to
Yeah.
10, how lucky do you feel you are right now?
I feel I'm a pretty solid 9, I think.
Yeah, really? Okay,
A
good.
pretty solid 9,
like,
yeah.
can you go out and get snacks if you want to? Like, can you get snacks delivered to you, maybe?
That's the thing. I was just talking to my parents about this. I'm not sure, actually. Again, in all the papers that they gave us, one said we could, one said we couldn't.
Yeah.
So I've got to call the hotel and ask them, if we can use any of the ride sharing services that give
Yeah.
food.
And maybe your mom can home
hopefully-
cook you some food and then send it over to you, right?
That's actually
the
not
idea.
allowed. No home cooked food is
Yeah.
Oh,
allowed.
no home cooked food. Oh,
Oh
okay.
no.
Nothing. Nope. Yeah. So
But
That's
I'm
funny.
not
it's
sure.
not control.
Yeah.
I guess yeah, it's that. It's not control.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you can get things delivered, if once you go through the list of things that they say you can do it, maybe you might want to do online shopping, get yourself a washing machine, a dryer.
Probably.
Never
Yeah,
know.
that's a good idea. Or just a line so I can hang my clothes up.
Yeah. Daniel, one
All
more
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more thing before you go. You're gonna spend 2 weeks in a hotel here, not in the best situations. Of course, you're under lockdown in a way. When's the next time you feel like you want everyone actually go to a hotel again?
Probably quite soon. I think
Really?
I'd like to go and I'd like to go and lay park by the beach again. I haven't been to the beach in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably as soon as possible, actually, as soon as we can get out of town and have a holiday.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. Like, even though MCO might be lifted in 2 weeks, there's still the worry of, the virus affecting people. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Daniel, for speaking to us.